Their stallion roster is quite phenomenal, and their latest trainer James Cummings has experienced a fantastic run of success with their 2-year-olds. Cummings trains 6 of the final acceptors, and Anthony Freedman prepares Lyre, the Blue Diamond winner. The Ingham brothers had their first slipper winner in 1967 when Sweet Embrace scored at 40-1 and they had been bitten by the bug. Their next slipper winner was a magnificent grey colt named John's Hope in 1972, with the Inghams racing him in partnership with John Foister, another huge thoroughbred owner. There was a drought before their next winner in the slipper came around 1987 in fact, but the Inghams had a fabulous result, having been part owner of the first 3 placer-getters, Marauding, Lyre Arms and Boasting. The next year was another slipper victory when Star Watch, trained by T.J. Smith, won brilliantly from an outside barrier. First, Clary Connor's Bonnie Filly was a super winner in 1992, with the Inghams as part owners, and the Inghams' next win was by Guineas, who raced for the Woodlands Stud Syndicate in 1997. The next year the race went to Prowl, another they part-owned, and the Inghams' final slipper win was per courtesy of the classy filly Forensics, who was raced by the Woodlands Stud Syndicate. As far as numbers go for the Inghams, in 1975 they paid up for 4 runners, Forgiving, 10th, Effective System, 12th, Kings, Favorite, 15th, and Top Charger, last, in what was a race to forget for the brothers, with Toy Show winning brilliantly. 8 years later they accepted with 6 of their 2-year-olds prepared by John Hawkes, who also had another runner, the smart filly Legally Bay. Woodlands Stud once again had no joy when the closest of their runners, Dorky, finished 6th. Niello, Lonrose Kid Brother, ran 10th, with Hammerbeam 11th, Kusi 12th, Syrinx 13th and Frasasses last. Footnote: despite a horror barrier draw, I'm sticking with my long-range selection. Yes to win the big race, and believe that Cosmic Force is the danger after his superior handling of the heavy track in the Pago Stakes last weekend. Wet track hint. Here are some helpful hints as to what 2-year-olds contesting the $3.5 million Golden Slipper Stakes have produced on rain-affected tracks. Firstly, to those 2-year-olds who have never raced on a track soft or worse and are largely unknown in the conditions, microphone. Free of Debt, Lyre, Tenley, Vencievo Lyre, Exhilarates, Loving Gabby and 2 of the 3 reserves, Roman Bellevue Hill. Yes has won 3 of his 4 starts and 1 on a soft track at Flemington. He also trialled brilliantly at Canterbury in the wet before winning the Todman Slipper on a soft 7. Time to Rain has 2 wins on soft tracks. He won the Kirkham Plate on a soft 7 and then was on a soft 5 when he won the Silver Slipper brilliantly. Cosmic Force earned favoritism with his 7 1/4 length win last Saturday in the Pago Stakes on a heavy 10 and was also second at Warwick Farm on a heavy 8. Lankan Star was beaten a long way in last week's Magic Night Stakes on a heavy 10 at Rosehill. Pinsec won at her first start on a soft 5 at Randwick on September 5 and then was second on a soft 7 track at Canterbury before winning the Black Opal Stakes. On a good 4, Anna Heed won at her debut last October at Randwick on a heavy 8 and prior to the win had won a Warwick Farm barrier trial on similar ground. Kia Mishi's first 3 starts were all on good tracks and then seemed to be at home on the heavy 10 track in last week's Magic Night Stakes. Catch Me's race efforts were all on good ground, but she looked smart winning her Randwick trial a fortnight ago on a soft 7 surface. The remaining horse is the first reserve Bivouac, who won on a heavy 8 at Warwick Farm beating Cosmic Force, who is the slipper favourite. Pioneer departs. Pioneer of the Nile, the sire of America's Triple Crown winner American Pharoah, died suddenly at Windstar Farm in Kentucky on Tuesday. Aged 13, he had covered a mare on the Monday and afterwards the stallion was seen to be suffering from a illness. Pioneer of the Nile began his stud career in 2010 and this year his fee was $110,000 and he had a full book of mares lined up. Ready Set Go Boom wasn't the order of the day at the Magic Millions Gold Coast March yearling sale this week, at least compared with the 2018 demand for Spirit of Boom youngster. But nonetheless the sale was the second biggest on record, with Queensland buyers purchasing 215 of the 297 lots to sell. Magic Millions Managing Director Barry Bowditch pointed out that last year's sale was unprecedented, with many of Australians' high-profile buyers clambering to buy a yearling by the sire, whose first crop had been outstanding on the track. Last year Spirit of Boom had 37 of his progeny sell for $6,197,500, an average of $167,500, with his top lot fetching $450,000. This week James Harron, one of Australia's biggest buyers, made a hit-and-run trip to the Gold Coast with ice for just one Spirit of Boom, and went home with the colt, paying the top price of $220,000. He will be heading to the Peter and Paul Snowden stable. Spirit of Boom, however, had a respectable 2 days of auctioneering with his 20 lots to sell averaging $60,550. Better Than Ready was the other star attraction of this week's sales, with buyers snapping up 46 of his offerings. Last year Better Than Ready had a strong lot of his progeny selling, and the 30 to find new homes did so at an average price of $30,983. Since then Better Than Ready has followed in the footsteps of Spirit of Boom, with the stallion leading the first season sires premierships with 14 individual winners, and also has the biggest prize money return. As a result, the Better Than Readies were in demand, and he had a number of six-figure lots sell, bringing his average to $49,935. Loading Thea with 3 stallions who are yet to have their progeny grace the racetrack, but the interest in the trio suggests their yearlings must be showing something above the average off the track. Spill the Beans, a son of Snitzel, had 20 youngsters sell, with the top lot being $170,000 to the successful Gold Coast-based trainer Helen Page. Rich Enough stands at Woodside Park in Tilden, Victoria, and the son of Written Tycoon was popular with buyers, and a dozen of his yearlings averaged $63,250. The third stallion who keeps coming to the fore is Super One, sired by the leading stakes winner this season and I'm Invincible. Super One's 3 yearlings to sell averaged $76,667, with the top lot fetching $90,000 on day 2 to Korean interests.